Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to West Prairie High School in Scioto, Illinois, as TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is here live for a matinee of high school basketball from Scioto. It's the North Fulton Wildcats in town to play the West Prairie Cyclones. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Got Braden DeCounter on a headset and on camera today. And we got varsity head coach Greg Duncan hanging out with us during part of or all of or whatever, some portion of this starting and into the JV contest. Coach Duncan, it's one of those games, I guess, where you are getting towards the point of the season where things need to start coming together a little bit, huh?
Yeah, that's working towards that goal, and hopefully you can finish strong the last 3 weeks of the season before regionals hit. We've been playing a lot better, and kids have been working really hard.
You know, that's the thing. You guys, not to be mean, but you guys had some room for improvement from where the season started. Abington Avon was another team like you guys, had a lot of room for improvement. I feel like both of you guys have really, on the varsity level, showed some marked improvement at this point in the season.
Yeah, both of us have really. We scheduled A-Town because we were short a couple games and had a chance to play them, and I think we were right in the middle of the beginning of their hot streak, and they played really well against us, shot the ball really well, and I think that continued even into last weekend. I think they maybe beat Bushnell
by 17.
Bushnell. Yeah,
at Abington, but they beat them by 17.
Yeah, so we kind of were in the middle of that hot streak, and our kids are playing better. We've kind of figured some things out, and we're really working hard and keeping positive attitude, which is what we got to do.
So you were here, saw some of the fresh soft game, or some of the junior high regional that was here earlier. You've got looks like they're going to do starting lineups for the fresh soft teams, but boy, Mr. Finch is pretty loud.
He is.
He's pretty loud. So
if I'm a student body and I get in trouble, I'm not sure I want to be in that office with him.
Number 14, Caleb Hartstern.
Do the starting lineups
Number
here.
Number 15, Tyler Munson. Number 20, Alex Adams. Number 25, Brody Thumb. The Wildcats are coached by Joey Berry.
It's a lot of names on this. You've been around a few years. There's a lot of recognizable last names on this fresh soft team.
There is quite a few kids I recognize through the years. Have had some younger or older siblings, I should say.
Yeah.
Number 11, Cam Kramer. Number 13, Ryan Clark. Number 14, Austin Nelson. And number 25, Jair Flora-Durham.
So we talked early in the year when I talked to you at the Tip-Off Classic that your varsity team lost those kids that were so used to winning. We talked about the younger kids, which is this group here, are used to winning. I feel like, has that kind of filtered into the varsity game a little bit for you guys now? Is that kind of what has kind of propelled you a little bit, or have the older kids finally found their role and started playing better?
The older kids are definitely playing better. The younger group is definitely gaining lots of experience. The other night against Bushnell, we had a pretty big lead and couldn't quite hang on to it and close it out. And, some of that was just our youth and inexperience in that situation. We haven't led too many games this year with the only one win against West Central. But, we learn from it. And I always say sometimes losses aren't
all bad, right?
All bad. I call losses lessons. You always learn a lesson when something like that happens, and we got to figure out what we have to do to be able to win and moving forward.
I believe that was number 10, Dempsey Whitsitt, with the bucket. As we are underway, 2-0 Wildcats here early in this one. I think a lot of coaches now, varsity coaches, tend to kind of call it 3 seconds on Jair. Tend to maybe step away from the JV and watch from like a distance more than the coaches used to. Do you enjoy that, getting up here right now, but sometimes you're on the bench, sometimes you're at the end of the gym, seeing things from a different perspective with the kids that are going to be coming to you in the future a little bit?
Yeah, I like to see how they react to other people. To Coach Conkling. Coach Conkling's been around now as long as I have here. And, he does a great job with them, and I like watching from afar how he handles the kids and how their interactions are with him and how they react to what he's telling them.
So as you watch these JV games, what are you looking for? I mean, obviously we're going to see some of these kids. Clark's going to play some. Nelson's going to play some. Guys like that are going to play, as Nelson's shot was blocked there. But what do you watch from the kids? Oh, nice pass, and Nelson can't finish.
Good
but
pass.
What do you see? What do you want to see from the kids in the JV game heading into the varsity contest?
I really want to see them, especially the kids that are getting some varsity time, need to excel at this level. Not necessarily excel, but
Play well anyway.
play well. And if they can play well against these kids and be confident, then they may carry some of that confidence into the varsity game where, sometimes the kids are just bigger, stronger, faster. You're talking 15-year-olds against sometimes 18-year-olds, and that makes quite a bit of difference in the boys' game, where as the girls' game, you can get away with that a little bit more.
That is something I think people forget. There's certain kids that can do that and be good at it. Other kids do it because they have to, right? And I think this year you're kind of in a position where they're doing it because they have to. But you have a couple kids that can handle their own pretty well at the varsity level too.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. I mean, early on, Ryan Clark played really well for us in the varsity level, and then he kind of plateaued a little bit, which most freshmen do. And then the last couple games, Brody Cordell's played really well. We gave him a spot start against Bushnell, just trying to shake things up to try to find some scoring, and he did a really good job. I think he had 11 that night and played really well. Cam's played well all year, obviously, being a sophomore. He's probably the most athletic kid on that JV squad. So, but just seeing them excel here and then carry over that positive momentum towards the experience they're getting.
Well, you just jinxed Cam because you just picked up the foul, right? Almost as you were saying his name. I mean, not that it wasn't his own fault, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
it's like an announcer's jinx. I always say that you never say how many free throws they've made in a row either.
Well, don't talk about our free throw shooting because it's suspect sometimes.
There's a three on the way, off no good. And Kramer with the rebound for the Cyclones. 2-0, still the score here. Not a lot of offense thus far. The Cyclones have had far better looks, I feel like, but they have not had anything fall. And Kramer is going to go to the line to shoot two here, as there's a foul on the number 15 is Tyler Munson. His team's first. Both teams have one foul apiece. First one's good for Kramer to get the goose egg off the scoreboard. Is it funny to you, and this is completely off base probably, but it's funny to me that we can't put a 0 on scoreboards anymore.
I'm glad sometimes. Sometimes it stays up there for quite a while.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I don't know if it's a new scoreboard or the new system they have here, but it's kind of odd, and they're kind of feeling their way around.
So we were trying to
get used to it.
We were trying to use a new scoreboard reading system that would allow the scoreboard. There's a three on the way, off no good. Rebound, put back, and it hit the guide wire on top, out of bounds. We were trying to use a new scoring system that would let us point a camera at the scoreboard, and it would just read the clock and read everything, and it'd bring it into what we were doing, which is great in theory, but you can't put. Like, you guys can apparently put zeros, but Southeastern can't put zeros on their fouls. You can't put zeros on your scoreboard. They can't put zeros on their fouls.
No,
So
that's unique. It makes it tough for you then, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's hard to set. I said, can you just go put a 1 up there just so I know where it's at and I can get it set up? We still don't have that working properly. But, it's just like, I suppose 3 on the way by Nelson was no good. It's kind of like what you guys do, right, as a coaches. You're constantly trying to change things, right, or trying to improve what you're doing, right?
I think coaches are the most fidgety group of people I've ever met. Always trying to change something and make something just a little bit better, or at least that's the goal. Sometimes they take a step backwards to get to that, but.
So is that the reason why you coach golf in Macomb and basketball in West Prairie? Because you're just fidgety and you don't want to sit around?
Yeah, exactly. I just have to do something, I guess.
Brody Thumb picks up the foul, his first, team second. I'd like to say that's the reason why I do this, but I don't know that. Sometimes my pocketbook thinks that's the reason why I do this.
Well, your pocketbook probably. Well, you know how much coaches make per hour, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm guaranteeing you I make less than that.
Oh, that's tough to do.
I was a coach for a while too, as
Okay.
Clark had a wide open look. So I've balanced the two. I'm pretty sure that I'm making less per hour than that. But maybe not. I mean,
it's probably close.
So that's one of those spots where you want Clark to make that shot. Obviously, any other time as well, but especially since you depend on him in varsity, you like him to make that shot in JV, right?
Oh, definitely. You know, last night we played Peoria Heights over there in the JV game, and I think we won like 40-22, and Ryan played really well. He had, I think, 14 points or something like that along the way, and a lot of extra cutting and passing, and, you know, did really well. Got some great looks.
Timeout on the floor is going to be charged to the Wildcats. We'll take a quick break as well. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School in Scioto, Illinois. Varsity coach for the Cyclones, Greg Duncan, sitting alongside. Braden DeCounters here running the camera, and he hasn't said a word the whole time. Have you ever heard – I mean, I don't know how well you know Braden, but I've never heard Braden be this quiet for this long in my life. I mean, his dad's Sam DeCounter, and Sam never shuts up.
I haven't heard Braden be quiet very often either, but
I know. That's what I was thinking. That should have been a jump baller or something there maybe, but Cordell comes down with it, and away it goes. Still 2-1 here. We're in the first quarter, 2:45 remaining, and there's a big block by Whitsitt on Clark, but it goes out of bounds, stays with the Cyclones here. And
that might be his second block in the game, and it looks like he's a pretty athletic kid.
Yeah, and Whitsitt's a name I recognize. Thumb's a name I recognize. I mean, Munson's a name I recognize. There's a lot of names, a lot of North Fulton County names on this roster for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think you'll see Thumb a lot in the varsity game tonight. I expect him to pull double duty.
And Austin Nelson says 114 is not going to get an easy shot on the other 14. So Nelson's going to pick up his first foul, team's third. Or second, I put the other one on the wrong side, I apologize. Oh, it is third.
Austin's one of those kids I like having around. He's kind of got that football mentality, and if we can just slow him down just a half a step, basketball is going to come pretty natural to him, I think, as he gets along and gets older and more mature.
And that ball went off Cam Kramer, according to the official, so it'll stay with North Fulton. Kramer didn't even go after it. He was pretty certain it didn't go off of him, or he was trying to act like it did, one or the other. There's something to be said about acting sometimes, isn't there?
There is, especially when you take a charge.
Yeah. Well, I hate that acting job. Either take it or don't take it. There's Whitsitt with the bucket. He's got all the made baskets here in the first half so far. There's only been two. 2:05 remaining, and not a good pass. And down the other way, the shot off, no good. Rebound and put back good for Ashton Warfield, number 11. And a timeout on the floor called by the Cyclones. It's a full timeout. We'll tell you this game being brought to you this afternoon by Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street in Good Hope, just east of the North Elementary School. Braden, do you know where that is?
I think I do. I think I know the people that work there, too.
Yeah, well, we'll have to talk about that. Open April through October, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 to 4 p.m. Yes, I know they're closed right now, but when they're open and everything's going good, they have the best fresh produce in the area, bar none. Follow their Facebook page for updates to when they're going to open. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it's grown. Now, Braden, are they planting anything yet?
No, we're actually just starting seedlings right now. So we're going to get some tomatoes and we're going to get some cucumbers in right now.
So that's what I'm saying. Are they planting anything in greenhouses or anything yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but can you imagine? It's January, what is it? January 21st, and they're already working in the garden, so to speak. Can you believe that?
No, if I could find a way to put a golf simulator in a greenhouse where it would be nice and warm in there, I might like that in the wintertime.
Well, maybe that's something we should work on. What do you think?
It's not a bad idea.
Have the sun of the greenhouse shining through during the day and the heat. Austin Nelson can't finish. Clark with a nice rebound to put back. He can't finish. And
tough shooting night down low tonight so far.
Brody Thumb got the rebound, and back the other way it goes. Dumps to Hartstrom. Hartstrom gets the bucket. That's a 3. And the North Fulton Wildcats opening up a bit of a lead here over the Cyclones at JV level. Missed the basket in there somewhere. It's 10 to 1. Oh, I hit it on the wrong side. That's what I did. It's not 10 to 3. It's 10 to 1.
We'll take some points after all these little bunnies we've missed early on.
Yeah, this score is a lot worse than the game, if you're watching it, would really appear, as we're under 1 minute to go in the first quarter. It's really been close. Oh, there's a Hartstrom with a nice little pass fake and drive. He gets 2 more. And it's 12 to 1. But the Cyclones have had plenty of good looks. I mean, as a coach, you have to be happy with the looks they've been getting. Just not a whole lot you can do about coaching the finish, though.
Nope, and when we are good, we finish those looks, and when we're bad, we miss them. And it seems like we're probably 0 for 4 inside 2 feet down there, and some pretty uncontested looks. So hopefully those start to fall, and we kind of claw our way back in this.
20 seconds, actually 15 seconds remaining now. Skip across to Nelson. Nelson might have got away with a switching of the pivot feet right there, but I'm not real sure. Kramer for 3, in and out, no good. With 5 seconds remaining, going back the other way with the basketball is Alex Adams. He pulls up top key 3, no good. That's how quarter number 1 is going to come to an end. The North Fulton Wildcats 12 to 1 over the Cyclones. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH right after this.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to Southeastern. That says where I've been doing all my games at lately, doesn't it? To West Prairie High School in Scioto. The S for Scioto got me at Southeastern. I don't know.
Well, I told you when you walked in, I saw I had the A team here today. You were lucky to be in Scioto this beautiful sunny afternoon.
I am lucky. Been here all morning, watched some junior high basketball and a couple of lopsided victories for the two teams, West Prairie being one of those. But Braden, you haven't talked much. What's your take in the first quarter?
I think it's really good for both sides. I think the one thing that West Prairie needs to focus on is kind of just making those baskets and getting that arch in their arm when they're making that basket, but then also kind of just reading this defense. I mean, they're doing an awesome way on the defense, but just getting out on shooters, and I know that's the biggest thing that they need to do is just to shut down North Fulton at this point.
Yeah, I would agree. Getting out on shooters would be a key. One of the things that I've missed that I noticed in the BPC game, and I just noticed it here for North Fulton as well, is I remember when I played junior high basketball, Coach, one of the big things is how to use a pick. Not how to set a pick, but how to use a pick. North Fulton didn't do it there, and BPC was not very good at it in the junior high. When you set a double pick at the top of at the key trying to use a pick, and you're not coming to pick the ball's coming to you. You have to rub shoulders, and that's like seems to be a art that is lost at the moment.
Yes, very much so. The pick and roll and even ball screens and the use of those seems to have gone by the wayside a little bit. You know, we're constantly wanting to set, when we run our motion offense, we constantly want to set ball screens. And I keep telling my kids, hey, we can't set ball screens if we're not going to use them. You know, you can't take one dribble past the screener and then expect.
There's a 3 by Cam Kramer.
Expect to go anywhere with it. And if we're not going to do that, we might as well not set ball screens. We might as well screen away.
Yeah, and that's, BPC was using that double high post with screens and trying to drive past the screen, and they weren't they were 5 feet from the screen. I mean, if you don't brush shoulders or at least close enough to keep your defender from getting in between you, the screen is of no use. And then the other thing it causes the screener. There's a 3 on the way for North Fulton, well off the mark. It causes the screener to want to step out, which then results in fouls on the offensive side.
Yeah, the going over under type of the screens, it's all your theory and how you want to teach. You know, we try to fight through them. Most schools try to fight through them because, you know, in high school they can pull up and shoot a 3 pretty easy.
Kramer is going to pull up and shoot another one right there. He missed that one, though. He's got the only bucket for the Cyclones here in the second as we're halfway through the first half and 2 minutes into the second quarter. Whoa! Kramer.
Is he on the high jump for the track team there? He was
Holy
jumped clear over top of him.
He did. He's up on his shoulders of Brody Thumb. The foul's going to be on Kramer. That'll be his second. And I'm just glad he got up and walked away from that one. Team's fourth. So, you know, that's one of those things that it was a decent pump fake, but Hartstern's going to go to the basket and get fouled. He'll shoot 2 free throws. I think Clark's going to pick up the foul. Nope, it's going to be number 25, Jair Flora, picking up the foul. His first, team's fifth. And at the free throw line is Caleb Hartstern. He's got 6 points. He's 1 for 2 from the charity stripe, and he missed that one. You know, that looked really, you know, awesome or whatever, but you'd really probably prefer him to keep his feet on the ground a little bit right there, right?
That's one of the worst habits to break. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
We've been working on that all year, trying to get these kids to block shots, and I don't understand why a 6-foot guard wants to try to block somebody's shot. And how many times have we tried to block shots and then they ball fake and go up and under and get an easy look, or they miss it, and then we're out of position and can't rebound it, and then they get an offensive rebound and another opportunity.
That's not just a Cyclone problem, though. That's like a societal basketball problem right now, I feel like.
I would agree with you. I see a lot of that.
I mean, it's not just you guys doing that. It's like I think that comes with a lot of individuality.
Individuality and the highlight reels.
Yes.
Everybody wants to make that highlight reel block into the stage or up in the bleachers or whatever's behind the basket.
I think Braden should do some play-by-play. What do you think?
I think it'd be a good idea.
I think it would be, too. Clark missed another pretty easy look at the basket. Couldn't get it to fall. He'll get all the misses out of his way before varsity.
I'm hoping.
How's that sound?
It sounds good to me. What do you think, Braden?
I think that sounds good.
Connor Munson in the game for the Wildcats. Also in the game, number 21, Gage Barker. Out top, and it's nice hustle, but then diving on the floor to save it, Hunter Jackson. And a timeout is going to be called by the Cyclones. And it looks like it's going to be a full timeout. That's the second full timeout. Nope, going to call it a 30. 30-second timeout for the Cyclones.
There for a minute, I thought you said Connor Watson. I started to have nightmares and flashbacks.
No Connor Watson. Did I say Connor Watson?
I thought you did because I was looking all of a sudden. Is he on the roster over there?
No, Connor Munson. Connor Munson. You threw me off completely. I was like, what do you – I was lost there for a second.
I thought you said that, and I was like, oh, no.
It's easy for me to get lost, though, so that's not a huge surprise. Hey, Braden, why don't you just call this one down to court? You here? I'll give you the roster. You know the West Prairie kids.
Oh yeah, I know the West Prairie.
Okay,
kids.
you go for it. Have at it.
All right, Brody Cordell taking it up top, passing it over, and it's going to be out of bounds on West Prairie. Go over to North Fulton.
Okay, I'm not going to let you do that anymore. That was the worst possession. I give him one possession, and it's the worst one of the game.
It wasn't a very pretty one.
I think it's the announcers. I told you about the announcers, Jink.
It was, but Braden did a pretty good job there.
He did a good job. We'll try it next time down the floor. How's that sound?
All right, sounds good.
We'll try it next. And
he may have a future in auctioneering cattle and livestock around the country.
He might. There's another foul on Jair Flora, his second, team sixth. Checking in is going to be number 5, Jason Faust. Did they just tell him he couldn't come in because his jersey wasn't tucked in? Are you kidding me right now? You've got to be kidding me right now. You couldn't give him 5 seconds to let him tuck his jersey in, but you never mind.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
The things that we focus on in society today is just unbelievable. And the fact that you couldn't give him 5 seconds to put his jersey in is just utter ludicrous. What's that word I'm trying to say? It's ludicrous, but I don't know. Anyway, that's 3 on the way.
Nice hustle rebound there by Hunter. He seems to have a knack for getting those long rebounds. He's done a good job getting in and hustling, making some scrap plays, those hustle plays that coaches like.
Jackson with it down low, puts up the shot, and it's good. Should have had him in a long time ago. He got a bucket right off the bat.
He did.
As a coach, you ever think that? You're like, you put a sub in, doesn't play all the time or a lot, and he comes in and makes a couple baskets. He's like, why didn't I play him sooner? Do you think that?
All the time.
Okay, here you go. Here you go. It's all you.
All right, Austin Nelson taking up the ball for offense for West Prairie. Going to try to set up a play here. Try to double team him, and it's going to be turned over. A foul.
Well, you really are a jinx.
Called on Austin Nelson. His second, team's 6th.
It's team 7th, actually.
7th. So it'll be a bonus for North Fulton.
It's team 7.
Looks like there's some issues on the scoreboard.
Yeah. So they only.
I wonder if she has her shirt tucked in or not.
Oh my gosh! See Whitsitt at the free throw line, and North Fulton. We're at 3:35 of the quarter, and they have not made a point yet this quarter, and they missed that one. They're 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Have not made a field goal.
On the open basket, and I did not get that on camera.
Great pass by Brody Cordell, seeing the floor there.
See, that's what happens when you start talking and stop cameraing.
Yeah.
Whitsitt picks up the foul, his first. Team's 3rd is all.
Looks like Ryan Clark is up at the line. First one is good.
The jinx is gone. You're okay now.
I know.
Can keep going.
We can keep you around a little longer, Braden.
Ryan Clark shooting his second, and it's good. Oh,
he stepped that right foot. He did. He stepped the right foot across early. It was a perfect shot, too. I don't know what he was thinking there, but he stepped across real quick like he thought it was off, but it was nothing but net. So it's going to be North Fulton with the basketball, and up top it comes to Hartstern. Over to Adams. No, excuse me, Warfield gets his second bucket. That's the first points of the quarter here at 3:07 or so of the quarter. And that was the first score. Oh, there's a nice cutting without the basketball, but then, nice reach. Are you going to? Foul on number 14, Austin Nelson, his 3rd, team's 8th. Warfield shooting 1 in bonus now. I'll get it out in a second. Well, they stomp loud. He'll get the bonus. (15-7). Missed that one. Jackson with the rebound. Warfield comes in. If Austin's foul was a foul down there, that was a foul down here. It should have been. But it's at the opposite official, so we'll just leave it at that. Jump ball possession to North Fulton. Thumb with it. Runs over Jackson. 3 on the way. Good. Number 15,
tough possession
Tyler
there.
Munson. So they cut it to 5, and now it's up to 11 again. Well, at least Faust got in with his shirt tucked in. That was a carry. Harstrom to Warfield, and Warfield's going to get the bucket. Warfield's the game leading scorer right now. Harstrom counted in a foul for Harstrom. He'll have an old-fashioned three-point play attempt. I believe it'll be on 30, Jackson. There isn't a 20. It was 30, right? $30, yeah, okay. Hunter Jackson picks up the foul, his first, team's 9th. Caleb Hartstern completing the three-point play. Short. Faust with the rebound for the Cyclones. So a 10-0 run in about a minute. Literally less than a minute.
I was just looking at that. I think you said it was 3:30 and they hadn't scored.
3:07 is when they scored the bucket. And I just looked up. It was 2:07 and they'd scored 10 straight. It's amazing how a couple free throws and missed rebounds will do that to you, isn't it?
Yep, that is true. It always seems like it makes the average teams just a little bit worse, and you can't overcome those very often when you get those little 2-minute spurts where you go brain dead or have a couple mistakes and
or get a little
careless. Yep.
Hartstern gives it off to Munson of the Tyler variety, and then Clark comes up with a steal. Here you go, Braden. Try it again.
All right, Ryan Clark taking it up the court. He's going to give it to Faust. It's going to be the steal by number 20. Jump stop and count the basket.
Alex Adams with the bucket. Go ahead, Braden.
All right, we're going to give it back to Brody Cordell. He's going to take it up the court. Going to give the pass to Flora. Back to Cordell. Ooh, a little in between the legs. He's going to call foul. Going to shoot 2.
Fouls.
15, which
Tyler,
is Munson.
Tyler Munson, that is correct. His second, team's 4th.
Brody Cordell at the line. Shooting 2. Missed the first one.
That was pretty generous on giving him 2 shots on that, wasn't it? I mean, he ended up throwing it at the rim, but I don't think that's what he was going to do when he went in there.
No, that was pretty generous. Well, we got to take advantage of their generosity there and make those 2 free throws.
Rebounded by the Cyclones. Oh, and the fake. Ryan Clark gets it again. We're going to shoot 2. Foul's going to be on Munson again.
Boy, he's got 3. They've only got 5 fouls, and he's got 3 of them.
Ryan Clark at the line. First one is good. Subbing in, number 3.
That is Connor Munson, replacing Tyler Munson. Second one's off, no good.
Rim.
It's a tough shooting night in this first half for the Cyclones, both at the free throw line and from the field.
Hartstern gives it off to Connor Munson. That does kind of sound like Connor Watson, doesn't it? If you're not really paying very much attention.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it until you said it, and then I just reset it. I was like, that really does sound like Connor Watson. But it's Connor Munson over to Whitsitt. No, that's not Whitsitt, excuse me. That's Adams. A little Euro step for Hartstern. Can't get it to fall, but the rebound and a putback by Whitsitt is good. He's got 6. Late at the buzzer, shot was off, no good by Adams, and he got smacked in the mouth, I think. And that's how we're going to end the first half of play, 26-8 at the half. We'll take a break here for the halftime, and we'll be back in just about 7 or 8 minutes with some more basketball coverage of the JV action between the Cyclones and the North Fulton Wildcats here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, if they ever start the halftime clock. And still waiting there, we started the clock, so we'll take a break and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students. MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their clinical experience and their opportunities here, and then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but everywhere. Right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not, correct? I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably,
Yes.
but the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you, right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call
involved?
our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. All of our current positions are listed on our MDH website, www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back to Scioto, Illinois. Hey, I got it right that time. West Prairie Cyclones and the North Fulton Wildcats here as we get ready to start the second half of play. I'm Dwayne Hulett. We have Braden DeCounter on, who's might be the biggest announcer's jinx to this point in a game I've ever seen in my entire life.
I would have to agree with you there.
And varsity Cyclones coach Greg Duncan alongside. And Greg and I mean, we kind of both scooted farther away from Braden as this game's went along, because every time I tell him to do play-by-play, Cyclones turn the ball over.
I sometimes want to mute your mic when you tell him that, if it's going to continue to do that.
I know. Braden, is it going to get better this half? Are you still going to be that much of a jinx in the second half?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of luck at this point. I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, we're going to start things off right off the bat. It's all you here. Let's see if it's good or bad.
All right, to start off the third quarter, it'll be Cyclones basketball. Brody Cordell is going to be running the play. Take it over to Nelson.
Well, they've made 2 passes. That's a pass. That's a plus.
Yeah, we're
better than his last time he was doing this. Anyway, go ahead, Brady. I'm sorry.
All right, they're trying to double team for North Fulton on whoever gets the ball.
1-2-2 zone, actually.
1-2-2.
And there's a
it's
turnover.
Going to be a turnover.
Just took longer. Warfield with the layup and the bucket. All right, well, right back to you
All
again.
right, Brady Cordell taking up the court for the Cyclones. Going to meet him half court there. Pass to Cam Kramer. Oh, in the dish into Cordell. It's going to be a rebound, and Brian
steal.
Clark gets it. Puts it up. Jair puts it up. It's going to be a rough trying to rebound there. Cam Kramer gives to Brody. Brody with the 3. Off the hoop. Looks like Warfield is going to take it up.
Thumb and a bucket.
Looks like Brody Cordell is going to take up the court again. Timeout called by the Cyclones.
They trail by 22, 30-8. This game being brought to you on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by the Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. You can also receive their Monday and Wednesday editions on their website as a subscriber. Copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, and, of course, Macomb. Also, MTC Communications. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in today's world. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, camera, and phone systems to the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas, and is expanding quickly. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check out your availability. And M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store, is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see the fine folks at M&B Furniture at 41 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. So you won't let a kid come in without tucking his shirt in, but you'll throw the ball to the kid that's inbounding as he's stepping out of bounds. Makes absolute sense to me.
It doesn't make very much sense there.
He was not in position. It should have technically, I mean, if he was to do that and have the ball, it would have been a turnover. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Don't get it. It is, as they say, what it is, though. Hartstern with it. I got told the other day I'm mean to officials, so maybe I should be quiet.
I think you do a good job.
Saved by Warfield. Hartstern comes in with it. Ooh, hey, nice job, little Keanu Reeves Matrix action right there, getting out of the way of that basketball down there.
She did a great job.
She did a great job. That was awesome. Like last second, wow, just bend over, out of the way. That's impressive. I could not have done that. I'd have got hit.
I would have too.
Oh, Thumb, a little hesitation, and then a layup for Thumb as he gets his second bucket of the quarter. That's probably not who the Cyclones want the basketball to be in the hands out that far away from the basket. Clark with it. Cordell. Now back out to Flora, who gives it to Cordell again. Hey, he did a good job there, though. He knew the ball got away from him. He didn't bring his hand up and carry it. He let it fall back down and start dribbling it. So it might have looked bad, but it was, by definition, correct. There's Austin Nelson with a 3. It's off no good. And then Warfield and Nelson get right into each other's mugs, and Nelson has a bloody nose. He got headbutted right in the nose. And he is less than impressed.
Nope. The poor locker room door.
As the trainer is going to go check out the nose. And the worst part is I think they gave him a foul, too. Man, that's just bad luck right there.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you don't like. You're bleeding, and then they call a foul on you. It's never a good thing.
There's a shot down low by Alex Adams. It's 34-8. Cyclones yet to have scored here in the second half. Cam Kramer with it. Cordell. Flora over to Jackson for three. It's off, no good. Tipped around, Thumb comes down with it. Out to Warfield, and back it goes the other way for the Wildcats. A little hesitation, and Flora is going to call that one on the floor. Foul's going to be on Jair Flora, his third unofficially, team's second. Was that Thumb? I think it was. I'll give it to him. Cordell gets called for the travel. 4:30 remaining. Down low. Whitsitt loses it. Right to Thumb. Thumb's jumper. Off, no good. Whitsitt and Clark battle for the rebound. It'll go off of Whitsitt, they say, out of bounds to the Cyclones. All right, Braden, it's your turn again. Let's see what you can do.
All right, the inbound by Hunter Jackson. Going to have Cam Kramer take it up the court. He's going to do a far pass to Brody Cordell. The pass to Ryan Clark in the paint. And the three on the way. Rebounded by Whitsitt.
Warfield.
Oh, and it's going to be getting back.
Warfield threw it. Who did he throw it off of Jackson first, I think, and it rolled right to Clark, and then then Warfield came back in and fouled him.
It was crazy, something like that.
Bounced off like three players, and Warfield gets the foul.
Oh, and they got the steal, and it's going to be Adams, I believe.
Yes, it is, and the layup's good.
Brody Cordell is going to take it up the court. It's going to go in the paint, try to do a drive. It's going to be thrown out of bounds by Brody Cordell. It looks like number 21 and 15 are checked in.
Coming in, going to be number 21, Gage Barker, and number 15, Tyler Munson. Munson's playing with 3 fouls. The only Wildcat with more than 1 foul is Tyler Munson. He's got 3. Adams. Driving there is Barker. Now it comes to Hartstern. And Flora is going to get called for the block. That'll be his 4th. And you might have heard some people say charge, and it could have very well, Braden, been a charge had he not turned at the last second,
If he just stood there and just let it fall over, that would have been called a charge.
But the turning will get you 99% of the time. Yes. You got to take the hit. Flora and Whitsitt battling hard down low in the post. Hartstern looks, doesn't take it. There's still a lot of time left in the third quarter. 3 on the way, off, no good. Tyler Munson. Whitsitt's going to get called for the foul. It'll be Whitsitt's second, team's second.
Going to be Brody Cordell taking up the court. He's going to drive in the paint. Oh, and it's going to be a
There
charge.
is going to be the charge. Cordell is going to pick up his second, team's 4th. And he did what Flora didn't do. Mm-hmm. He stayed straight and didn't turn away from the contact and picked up the foul.
Yes, correct. Somebody number 3 checking in for the Wildcats.
That is Connor Munson. So Tyler and Connor both on the floor at the same time now. Alex Adams with it. Out to Tyler Munson. Left side it comes to Barker. Barker now to Connor Munson. They wanted that cut from Barker. He was open there. Whitsitt gets the cut. Man, he got hammered, counted in a foul.
They're going to count the basket.
Whitsitt gets the bucket to fall. Fouls on Hunter Jackson, his second, team's 5th. Whitsitt, another chance at an old-fashioned 3-point play for the Wildcats. Missed it. Ball's tipped around. Ooh, man, tough break. Whitsitt, and who is that down there? Alex Adams came together in a big-time smack, and Adams gets up slowly. And subs coming in, number 23, Cayman Patterson checking in. Adams got a cut. Cordell with it. It's getting Connor Munson goes, hesitations, has it stripped away, and then Flora knocks it out of bounds right to Hunter Jackson. (40-8) is the score. 2:24 to go here in the third quarter. Barker inbounds to Warfield. Warfield, floater, off no good. Rebound down low. I can't tell if that's Barker down there. No, it is Barker. Fouls on Cordell, his third, team's sixth, and we're getting pretty close to being in the bonus already. First free throw's off for Barker. Pretty long third quarter here, Braden.
Yes, very, very long quarter.
That one's off no good. 0 for 2 for Barker from the free throw line. Flora gets the rebound. Back the other way it goes. Want to try it again?
Sure, we'll try this one. It's going to be Hunter Jackson taking in Brody Cordell. Going to try to do something here. Do a little spin move. Flora gets the rebound. It's be rebounded by Barker. Now North Fulton has the possession.
Warfield looks to drive. And
Going to be called a travel there by Warfield.
I'm pretty impressed. You do a pretty good job picking up names. You could do this if you'd practice a little bit because you pick up names really quick. That's the hardest thing for most people to do is to pick up names.
Yes, yes.
But you do a pretty good job picking them up pretty quick. Cordell might have traveled a couple times there, but he gets the basket. That's the first points of the quarter for the Cyclones. 40-10. It's 1:38 remaining now here in the third quarter. Barker can't dribble now. Gives it off to Connor Munson. Hunter Jackson comes out. Left side it comes to Tyler Munson. Nice shot. Put it up. Off no good. Going to the free throw line. Going to be Cayman Patterson. Kamir Patterson, excuse me. I can't read my own writing. And he'll be shooting 2 fouls on Cordell, his 4th, team 7th. First one short for Patterson. Patterson's second free throw with 1:19 to go in the third quarter is long that time. First one was short, second one was long. Flora with another rebound on a missed free throw. And Clark brings it up for the Cyclones. Faust with it near side. Looks into Cordell. Cordell dumps it down to Clark, and Clark gets the bucket. Warfield, Tyler Munson. Patterson. Munson going to try the three. It's long. Rebound over there by Hunter Jackson. He's going to run out of 10 seconds just trying to get the ball to somebody that can dribble it here. Clark's going to bring it up with 40 seconds remaining. Brody Cordell, left side on the dribble. Pair of threes guarding each other, and then yeah. That's you could either call it out on Black or you could call a foul on Black.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much the options they had there.
Yes, it was.
And instead of calling the foul, they just called it out of bounds. Gave it back to Cyclones. Clark with it, 28 seconds remaining. Third quarter. Flora with it down low now. Patterson on him. Shots up off no good. Rebound out of bounds. And the 2 threes going at it again over there. And it's going to be off of Brody Cordell. Possession to the Wildcats. 21.6 seconds as they inbounded the ball. Need another 2 here. Connor Munson's going to have a chance at one. Dumps it out. Tyler Munson up top to Warfield, down to Patterson. Flora is going to get called for the foul. Patterson's going to shoot 1 in bonus. Flora is going to get his 5th foul. Team's 8th. Checking in is going to be Blake Arnold. He's already there. Holy smokes. 7.2 seconds to go. That's 8, actually. It's team foul number 8, actually. Patterson's going to be shooting 1 in bonus. Kamir Patterson off the bench. Off, no good. Brody Cordell with the rebound. Stop the key. Faust with it, 1 second. Cordell, 10-foot line. Off, no good. That's how the quarter comes to an end. 40-12 the score. The Cyclones trail the Wildcats. This game being brought to you today by Western Illinois University. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there is limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. Also helping to bring you this contest today is JoJo's Gaming Parlor. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screen. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street in Bushnell. Cheer the Spartans on to victory. Did he just say they're going to do the running clock?
I think they did.
Well, they're not technically supposed to do it because it's only 28 right now.
Yep.
But they did have a 30-point lead, but it's not right now, so I don't know. We'll see if they do it. Also, bringing this contest, Country Financial agent Brett Powell. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Did I see you guys were selling some sheep?
Yes, we are currently selling about, I think we're selling about 75 head of sheep right now. Just because
Barker gets the bucket.
We kind of just want to get to an even number of about 40, just because it's my grandparents just taking care of them. And when they need help, they rely on me, my dad, and my brother. So we thought let's lower it down a little bit and just focus on just a smaller portion of the sheep.
And over and back, as they didn't call the trip, so Arnold, who got tripped, lost the ball over and back. Clock continues to run here in this 30-point lead, 42-12. Holy cannoli.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard that beat said to a player.
Well, I don't know. Barker goes in, dumps it down. Baseline jumper off, no good. That was David Roberts. Back the other way it goes. Clark with it. Yeah, that's a charge. Clark just lowered his head, and Roberts draws the charge on Clark. Yes, that's coach was yelling that they wasn't set. Player control foul, so it's not free throws, but it is a possession changer. And I have given the officials a hard time on numerous occasions today, but he is absolutely correct on that one.
Yes.
Clark went with his head down and just flat ran over him. It's not. Everybody says he's not set or he wasn't. He was moving. You don't have to be set. You just can't be leaning forward or falling down. You have to be moving in a straight plane. And there's Brody Cordell with the bucket. He had to be moving in a plane, and he was there and just flat got ran over. Patterson gets called for the travel. Roberts is like, come on, I just made the basket. again, the clock is running. 5:40 to go now as we don't stop the clock, but the lead had gotten to 30 moments ago here in the fourth quarter, so after that, the clock doesn't stop. Arnold with it. Cordell out to Faust for three. It's off, no good. Patterson with the rebound. He pushes it up in a hurry. He's got a chance to get all the way to the rack. He throws it up. The drive looked good. The finish wasn't real great, but the drive looked good. Checking in is going to be Bradley Uracy. Patterson takes a seat. That was a good drive. He didn't finish real good, but it was a good drive. Connor Munson gives it to Roberts. Bradley Uracy. I'm going to say that. I hope I'm not butchering that. If anybody's in the live chat and wants to tell me how badly I'm butchering that, feel free. Connor Munson, 4:35 remaining. And a nice defensive play by Cordell. He's going to go with the left-handed layup and gets it to fall. Brody Cordell gets the bucket. Uracy gives it off to, also in the game, Trip McClure. That shot was no good. Rebound by Cordell, and he'll walk it up the floor. 3:56 remaining. Cordell tries to split the defense, and he's going to get called for the travel. Got subs coming in. Also checking in, Braden Fife. And number 32, Corbin Fuller. Technical foul on
White 14.
Austin Nelson on the bench. $13 or 14?
I believe they said 14 and it held up the 1-4.
So Austin Nelson on the bench got the technical?
I guess I didn't see anything happen down there, so we must have missed something.
Well, he just fouled out if that was the case, unofficially. Shooting the two technical free throws is Corbin Fuller. Missed it. Missed them both, but they were both pretty close. Wonder why they weren't running the clock. They should have been running the clock then, too, technically.
Yes, correct.
But they weren't, were they?
I did not see it go off or anything. I think they paused it thinking that since it was a free throw.
Roberts. Number 22, Carter Clemens in the game as well. Cordell dumps it down to Clark. Clark gets the bucket. Jump ball. Blake Arnold ties up Fuller, and it's going to be possession to the Cyclones. Three on the way by Cordell. Well, Braden, this game's going to look a lot more respectable than it was as they're closing the game down to a 21-point lead now.
Yes, correct. It was ugly for a little bit, but then they finally got in the rhythm, and they're slowly coming back.
Yeah, it helps that the North Fulton's playing their fourth string.
Mm-hmm.
The ball went off Connor Munson out of bounds. Possession to the Cyclones. Faustal inbound to Clark. So if anybody's keeping score at home, they only have 8 players do the Cyclones, and 2 of them have fouled out. So they really can't play anybody else. Hunter Jackson with the rebound after Cordell missed the shot. Over to Faust. Put that up, young man. Shoot that ball. Jackson, shoot it. There you go. Hunter Jackson, no good. Saved in by Arnold. Fife. Shot off, no good. Shot off, no good. That was Fuller trying to get the shot. Roberts comes up with the steal after it was tipped by Connor Munson. Three on the way by Connor Munson is good. The coach is like, why'd you shoot that? Connor's like, I haven't scored yet today either. They're trying to get some of the kids that don't play much some points here, which is understandable. 3 on the way for Faust, off no good. Jackson tracks down the rebound. He puts the shot up. It was short. Clark with the put up. It's off no good. Jump ball, possession to the Cyclones. Nope. Well, maybe, I don't know.
Looks like it's in possession of the Wildcats this time.
20 seconds remaining. Fuller trying to drive to the basket, lost the ball out of bounds. Three on the way for Hunter Jackson, off no good, and that's how this one's going to come to an end. 45-21 the final. The Cyclones drop one to the Wildcats of North Fulton. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in our next stream in just a few minutes here on TSSR Game Time Live. We still have varsity action between the Wildcats and the Cyclones coming. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and join us on our next game stream here on Hulett PubliPro LLC's YouTube channel. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.